204-780-6868, 204-780-6868. Your cue to call as Jets at Noon is brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line will win a VIP car wash or the phone line today. From our good friends at Wash Method, 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program as we're coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio. For gourmet pizza and pasta, bring the team to Boston Pizza. You want to go, let's go right to the Boston Pizza Jets at Noon hotline. Open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Here was Gord on the Boston Pizza hotline when we right here.
Hey, Cam, it's Gord. I didn't get the whole story today, but I'm just wondering. Of course, Jonathan Toews is a huge story, and rightfully so. But another story coming up is our three RFAs all went to arbitration. Sandberg, Barron, and Velarde. I'm hoping that the Jets will get a few of them long-term, or correct me if I'm wrong, I think they can all go 1 year and then a UFA, just like Andrew Kopp did that we lost, unless my memory is wrong. But I'm just thinking they've got to also consider signing to those guys to more than a 1 year contract. Anyway, and if you already addressed that, I'm sorry. But if not, I think that's an issue we got to look at as well. Thanks, Cam. Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Gord. Coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15, only at BP. The number one caller will be awarded a $50 gift certificate today. We'll play that number one caller. What do you think about that? I mean, there's always risks in contract negotiations when there isn't name to paper and things aren't officially signed and the paperwork isn't, sent through the NHL and everything isn't official. There's always risks. There's always risks involved, but I will say I remain confident that Gabriel Velarde, Dylan Sandberg, and Morgan Barron, those three RFAs that you're referring to, will be long-term Jets. I don't know if I'll define long-term, but they will be Winnipeg Jets.
Well, the positive of them filing for arbitration is that they'll be Jets. They can't be offer sheeted or go anywhere else.
Yeah.
And then, it's just part of the process. I don't worry about arbitration filing. I don't think any one of these three players are going to go to arbitration, and I think there's deals out there. And maybe a 2-year deal, maybe a 1-year deal just to get them back on the roster.
Yeah.
But I think they're working hard on getting all these guys signed long-term. Now, what's long-term? Like, the new long-term is 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Like the high AV in the 4 years, and then you get another chance to cash in again. And then the other one is the 6 or 7 year deal. I wonder if Velarde does the 4. I wonder if he says, at my age and stuff, I wouldn't mind testing the waters or see where I'm at and get a more AAV. And maybe this shorter term helps you in the immediate. I don't know. But I think Sandberg and Barron, I don't think is going to get like more than a 3-year deal at the most.
Yeah.
I think Sandberg's going to get a 5 or 6 year deal. And I think they'd like to get Velarde on a 6 to 7 year deal.
Let's go to the phone.
That's what they would like.
Yeah, let's get Steve on the line. Hey, Steve, what's going on? Welcome to Free For All Friday. What's on your mind?
Free for all.
Hey, Cam, you promised to buy me a Pittsburgh Penguins jersey for my birthday, remember?
When was that? I don't remember.
Well,
How much
remember
did it cost?
something about that.
Well, maybe you know what? Maybe you said when they win the cup, but by the next time they win the cup, we'll both be long gone. So.
Okay, well, Steve, you're going to have to wait a long time then.
I know, that's terrible. Hey, I'll be quick here, guys. I know this is a Jets show, but let me just mix the Jets with the Bombers. So when both teams, when the Bombers or the Jets are doing well, it's obviously a good boost for the city, right, and everything.
Yeah.
But now the Bombers are doing well. I know they lost their last game. It's good for the city, but I don't think you can compare it to when the Jets do well. I'm not just talking about the whiteout and the party they have at True North and everything, downtown.
Yeah.
But the businesses and the economic benefits, when the Bombers do well, I'm sure there's some. But when the Jets do well, boy, and I know this for a fact, I've talked to some folks, the businesses go through the roof when the Jets are surging, especially at playoff time. I don't know if you guys agree.
Well, I mean, listen, so like the Bombers' best case scenario, they host the West Final, right? So that's 1 week. and then they go to the Grey Cup the next week. That's a 2-week process with only 2 games in between, right? So 2 dates that restaurateur could make money on people going into, and there's things like Grey Cup parties. People go to people's houses. I don't think there's necessarily that. I mean, people definitely go and
it's here this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I think I was about to say that. I think this year is going to be a different story because there's going to be huge runoffs from the Grey Cup. It's the biggest sporting event, yearly sporting event in Canada. But yeah, I mean, which team is more popular? I don't know. I think it's
the Jets.
Well, I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty even, honestly, across the province.
I had this debate years ago that I know, and this is going to shock some people because it shocked an ex-Bomber. I know people who have the massive passion for the Bombers and do not watch hockey. I also know people who love the CFL and watch the Bombers that do not watch the NFL.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy, but it's not. And then when I talked about it on the air, we got texts from people that's like, I don't know even how the Jets did last year. Now, that being said, I think you're right, Steve. I think there is way more interest in the Jets. But when I say that, it demeans the interest in the Bombers. It's unheard of to have a CFL team be followed more and not the hockey team. But it happens here in this province. There is a massive following of just Bomber fans.
Yeah.
And I get that. And they deserve it. But it's just a smaller league and it, there's only 9 teams. It's only in Canada. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the players are from the US where, hockey's hockey here in Canada and stuff. But I don't even like talking about it because clearly the NHL and the Jets have a bigger following. But I would argue the passion for the Bombers is on equal pace as it is for the following's greater, but the passion is the same.
Maybe in Manitoba, probably 50-50. Honestly, like in this province, but like if you go around the world, there's obviously more Jets fans. It would be a way bigger deal for the Jets to win the Stanley Cup than the Bombers to win a Grey Cup.
There are 50-year Bomber season ticket holders.
Even this year at home.
There are 50-year Bomber season ticket holders. There are generational season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Now, the Jets have just been 14, 15 years, and there was the 1.0. I get that.
Yeah.
But 50 years of loyalty that way. I mean, so you're right. It's a bigger following, but I think the passion for both teams is the same.
Agree. I have to go, but I totally agree, Jim. I 100% get your point. I guess my point was the economic benefit. Is the Jets.
Oh, yeah. Well,
and that can't, guys make both because it's a longer thing and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's a tough question. I didn't mean to put the Bombers down, trust me.
Oh, I know.
That's not
Steve,
what you're doing.
I know. I know that.
And I always, the reason I hate it, Steve, is because it's always like a competition. And you didn't make it sound that way, Steve. Yeah. You didn't. But over the years, it's been like a competition. I don't think it has to be it's like CFL and NFL too. And there's this competition which you like better. It doesn't have to be a competition. I like them equally the same. Yeah. They're different games.
I mean, I'm a CFL fan and I like the NFL playoffs. I don't really pay attention to the NFL.
And I love them both. I love the CFL and I love the games and the different style and the motion and the waggle. And I love the NFL.
Yeah, see, like I grew up in a house league. See, I was born in 91. The Jets left in 96. So I was really too young to really get into the NHL. I still followed the NHL, but I wasn't as big as I'm a fan of the league now. And that really started when the Jets came back for me. But anyways, thanks a lot, Steve. I appreciate it.
Weekend, bye.
Yeah, for sure. 204-780-6868, 204-780-6868. Let's take a break. Let's come back on the other side. We'll go right back to the phone line, to the text line, 204-780-6868 for Free For All Friday. Hey, we still got to give away that $50 gift certificate as well as the VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method. Lots to grab. Still to come here on Jets at Noon on Free For All Friday. This is kind of exciting news that this has just been confirmed. It's happy to announce this right now. Executive Director of the NHLPA, Marty Walsh, will be joining us on Tuesday at 12:10. So looking forward to that conversation.
CBA.
Yeah, about the CBA and the Executive Director, the big Macher, as they say, is going to be joining us. So looking forward to that conversation. So stay tuned for that for Tuesday. Let's get Wick on the line. Hey, Wick, what's going on, dude?
Hey, boys, just sipping on some Lake of the Woods here.
Oh, I know. You always are.
A couple comments. First one.
Yeah.
Morgan Barron. First off, get this guy signed. And I think this guy's got a lot of untapped talent, and he is so underused. So what are your views on, even when Lowry returns, about Barron getting bumped up to that third line.
I don't hate it. I think you definitely take a look at it. Look at that. And I said this last week. Any opportunity that's been given to Morgan Barron, of course, they're not going to go out and ask Morgan Barron to score 40 goals next year or play on the top line and play 25 minutes a night. That's not going to happen. But within his realm, in between his fence posts and the sidelines of what he can excel at, every time Morgan Barron has been given an opportunity, he's done fantastic in that role. So I don't think I can rule something like that out.
I can. I think Adam Lowry's one of the top 3 checking centers in the National Hockey League.
But he's going to be missing time. That's the question.
Oh, so you mean at the start of the year?
Yeah, that's what Wick's saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Either him or Nemestikov. But I think you're right. Look, I was highly impressed, just like everybody else was, Wick, with Barron's play. But I thought you meant, when Lowry's back as well. But because Lowry's 32 and everything.
Either. I think this guy, some of the goals this guy has scored, right, in limited play, I think there's a lot of untapped potential there, and he's just not being given that opportunity.
Yeah, I don't mind the opportunity he's been given. I mean, I need to see some more finish from him, but I think you're right. I think that that's a fair option, especially with his size and what he showed last year, to potentially start the season with him there.
And I'm more comfortable with this forward group, even with Ehlers gone, than last year. I think if Taves can take that second line center and run with it and be flanked with Perfetti and Nyquist, I like that Nyquist signing. Once Lowry comes back, bump Barron up to that third line, and then you got Pierce or what the hell, Pearson or no
Tanner Pearson.
Yeah, and him on the fourth with the Kropke kid and. Whoever at center, I'm feeling a little better about that forward group than what they had last year.
I think Ehlers is a loss. Wow. I think it's a loss. It's going to be a tough hole to fill.
Thanks a lot, Wick. Appreciate the time.
Okay, see you, bye.
Yeah, see you, Wick. Enjoy the lake of the woods.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at noon hotline, open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main side and ice cold drink for only $15, only at BP. We'll give away the $50 gift certificate later on in the show. We'll be right back. Phone lines are jammed. More Jets talk after this on Free For All Friday. Jets at noon, brought to you by Wash Method Car Wash, 690 St. Anne's Road. VIP take on the text line to win a VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method. 204-780-6868. We'll announce the winner later in the program as we're coming at you live from the Boston Pizza Studio for gourmet pizza and pasta. Bring the team to Boston Pizza. While you're at it, download the Jets at Noon podcast free now on Apple, Spotify, wherever you find your favorite podcasts, with plenty of memorable Jets talk and episodes and special content exclusively found there. So you can take Jets at Noon wherever you go and whenever you want. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Mike. Hey, Mike, what's up?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good. What's up? What's going on?
I was driving to Eli.
So you're driving to Eli and you thought you'd give us a ring. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for thinking of us. Very sweet of you.
Well, I listen to the show every day.
You're the one. Thanks.
And everyone else. I wanted to get your opinion on Gavin McKenna and his decision to sign for U.S. college hockey for $700,000 that he's probably going to get paid versus going the CHL route. Like, how you think that's going to affect the CHL, the owners of the teams, and the fan attendance?
Yeah. This is a great question, Mike. So this is why we had Jeff Merrick on the show earlier this week, and I asked him that exact question. And I have to totally agree with what he said. He said that it's just going to be a new development route. You're going to see the blue chip prospects spend their years that they're able to play in the CHL. And then once they get to a certain age, they're going to go to NCAA and U.S. hockey to make some cash and to make some money. And this is going to be the new development route. How the CHL is going to try and keep some of these guys. Because, listen, Gavin McKenna is a huge blow to the WHL, the Medicine Hat Tigers. And listen, there's going to be a lot of full barns that are going to come and see him play this upcoming year that are not going to do that anymore. So they're going to have to change the way that they do things. They're going to have to be more competitive. And there's things that they can do. But when it comes to guys like Gavin McKenna and the ilk and the players that are coming up through the system and will be in 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the line, it's going to become a reality, in my opinion, that the NCAA Division I hockey is where these guys are going to end up heading into the NHL draft. They're going to want to make that cash and live the NCAA college lifestyle for that year. And I don't blame them. I would do the same thing if I was in their shoes.
Or even after the draft.
Yeah.
There's some players that got drafted this year that are going to commit to college because they're going to make 40, 50, 80 grand. I think Michigan is such a good team. Their top players are making $250 each because they don't have one player making $700.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna change, and the league the CHL is gonna lose some talent. But I also think that, like, the best take I saw was on the Hockey News. Somebody wrote an article and said that the WHL and the OHL and Q are just gonna become younger.
Yeah.
Like, they're gonna become 16, 17, 18-year-old leagues as opposed to an 18, 19, 20-year-old league. And then, but not every player is going to go, and not every player is going to want the college. What I'm fascinated about is in after this becomes the norm, 10 years later, what develops you faster? Because still, 30 games a year compared to 72, the 72 gets you ready for pro hockey a heck of a lot better.
Well, but like in a case where Gavin McKenna is going to go first overall, I mean, that to him it doesn't matter.
But he's going to have both, right?
Yeah.
The college player that comes out and gets drafted, it's a hard adjustment to go from 30 to 40 games a year and a weekend league to playing 82 games a year, or even in the AHL playing 70-some games a year and traveling and everything like that. It's not insurmountable, but I think it's a tougher transition than the junior players who are used to your season is full of games and practice and travel.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Thanks a lot for the call, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
It's a massive blow for the CHL, though.
It is a huge blow.
But good for the players. Like, if it's about players and development and the opportunity, like I saw Ken from the Hockey News put out today, and Les Lazaruk, the PA guy, and Joe Keane and Kamloops, and Les is in Saskatoon, the idea of paying the WHL players. Well, the Swift Currents, the Prince Alberts, the community-owned teams cannot afford that.
Well, what are you going to do? Bring in a salary cap?
Like the Lethbridge Hurricanes are, I believe, still community-owned.
Yeah.
There's a board there, and all of a sudden you have to pay players, we're talking 60 grand? You can't afford that in Swift Current. No. So, but I also understand that, those are teams that break even. And for every Swift Current and Prince Albert and whatnot, there's the Calgary Hitmen, there's the Edmonton Oil Kings, there's that make money.
Yeah, the London Knights and stuff like that.
But also, like, if you're in Victoria, that costs you $5 million a year to run that thing. So if you got to add in for 20 players, another $700-800 grand.
Well, the ticket price would have to skyrocket.
That's where it goes. Yeah. And you cannot charge. You can't. The Western Hockey League has to be like going to the movie. And we know how expensive the movies are now.
Yeah, my God.
But you can't charge more than $20 for the Western Hockey League. You're going to eliminate your fan base.
Yeah.
Once you get into the $30-40, you might as well go to a Moose game. And I know it's a different city and all that, but I have so much passion for the junior hockey, Western Hockey League and stuff. I love it. And if it's all I ever covered, I would be happy with that. So this worries me, but there's a way to make it go. And I like when I asked Jeff Merrick, are they going to pay? Are they going to pay? And I mean more than the $100 a week or the $400 a month. And I just don't think the league can afford that.
I don't think they can.
So they have to come up with other ways. And look, the elite talent will go for this because you're going to make money, and I don't begrudge that for any 18, 19-year-old kid. But the average player is only going to get $40K or whatever. There are ways around this. And I hate to say this, but there are... I can say it because I wasn't a strong student. I was never a straight A student. I was a low B, high C student. I found what I wanted to do, and I made my way. It'll become, like in college, you still have to go, right? I know Gavin McKenna is going to make money. He's going to go and graduate, all this.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to graduate. But like the Andrew Kopps of the world went back and got their degree years later. Neil Pionk went back and got his degrees later. There will be those athletes that just aren't scholastic and will play in the dub, and they'll get their high school and they'll go on their way and maybe play university when they have more time to dedicate to school and stuff. Like, there are ways around this. Yeah. But it is definitely a big blow.
The CHL is going to have to adjust. I'd be interested to see 5 years from now how they're going to adjust. But they're just and I will reiterate this: the CHL cannot compete with Division I NCAA. Impossible. It is impossible Just look at the facilities that they have in Division I. Just take a look. The training facilities, the rinks, all that stuff. It is not even close.
For every
it cannot
London
compete. So they're going to have to adjust the way it is. But guess what? The situation for the players playing in the CHL is going to improve because of this, because it's going to have to. It's like with Live Golf and PGA
more
Tour.
opportunity.
All of a sudden, the PGA Tour had more money to hand out. All of a sudden, it was willing to bend a little bit more to make things better for the players that were participating in terms of how many courses they had to go to, how many tournaments they had to play in. All of a sudden, things started to work out when Live came around. I'm just saying.
For every London Knights that could afford to pay every player $40,000 a year.
Yes.
Or less, sorry,
you
$10,000 a year. $10,000, I shouldn't say 40. There's the PAs, there's the Swift Current Broncos, there's
unless you brought in a salary,
Tigers.
unless you brought in a salary cap, which I don't know if that would work for a junior. It would quickly divulge into the Premier League, where you would have 6 or 7 ultimate premium upper echelon clubs, and then there would be everybody else.
You could run it like the Gold Eyes.
Yeah.
2 or 3 players make a couple K a month, and the rest of them make what they make a week.
Hey, Karen, welcome to the show. 204-780-6868. You're on Free for All Friday. Karen, you there?
Oh, hi.
Hey,
Hi, Karen.
Hey, Karen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
How are
good.
you?
Oh, good. A little smoky out here, but not
Certainly is.
everywhere,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to miss Ehlers big time. I'm sure of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's very dynamic to watch. We've been season ticket holders from day one until health issues and COVID made us quit. But we just didn't have support for him. I think they just couldn't find a niche of someone that could play with him and keep up with him a little bit, maybe a little more brawn and muscle.
Mm-hmm.
On his line, but I still think he's going to make us pay.
Yeah, Karen, I'll say this about Nick Ehlers. He's a little chaotic when he's on the ice. And that's what makes him so good, but it makes him difficult to find consistent line mates that work really, really well for him. And I know that the Jets have not been able to find a second line center consistently throughout the existence of the 2.0 era. They just have not, since Brian Little went down, they've not had that second line center. They haven't. There was that little period of time with Pierre-Luc Dubois, but unfortunately it hasn't been a consistent thing. Did that affect things with Ehlers? I have no doubt about that. But him being so sporadic, and it was what makes Ehlers a great player, but it also is sort of the thing that doesn't bring him into that elite forward group, in my opinion.
He's unpredictable, right?
That's the perfect word for it. He's unpredictable. That was the word I was looking of, and I came up with chaotic, and unpredictable is a better word.
They just couldn't seem to find somebody on the same wavelength as him that might be able to figure out what he's going to do next, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And so, my son was small like him, and he played the same way, fast, and same thing. Nobody could catch him, and then when he got there, he was unpredictable.
Thanks.
Thanks for the call.
Thanks for the call, Karen. Hey, Karen, do you want a gift certificate? Do you want a VIP car wash from my good friends at Wash Method down at 690 St. Anne's Road?
Oh, sure. I'm out of town, but I'm dusty and dirty out here in the country. So
and romance, Karen. Bring your special someone, and it's beautiful there. It's like Manitoba's Niagara Falls.
Oh, good. Okay, then we can go for supper and everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Bring it all together. It'll all come together, Karen. I'm going to pop you on hold. You're going to talk to Jeffrey Forche, and he's going to get you signed up for that car wash at Wash Method. We got time for one more caller here in this segment. Steven, what's going on?
Happy Friday, gentlemen.
Happy Friday.
Good. What's going on, dude?
Some clarification on the arbitration process, and then a question or two following from that.
Okay.
How do they assign the arbitrator as a neutral third party?
I wish I had that answer for you.
Don't know?
No.
They just have some, and then they schedule them all and go from there.
Like if you ask me what an arbitrator is and define one, I don't know if I could. That's a good question. I should know that.
It's an independent person who comes in.
So what is that, like a lawyer or who is
it? It might be like a local lawyer or something. Or?
Yeah, I wish I had the answer.
Well, there
for
are
you.
professional arbitrators who, not just in this case, but in divorce cases, everything comes in and just sort of hears both sides and makes a decision.
So can you tell me this? If I understand correctly, in Major League Baseball, it's an either or. The player makes an offer, the club makes an offer, offer, and the arbitrator picks which one they prefer, and they're both stuck to it. Where I think the NHL, if the club says you're worth 5, the player says I'm worth 9, the arbitrator can pick any number in between those, maybe split the difference, say, no, 7. Is that correct in terms of how they can do the award?
Arbitrator, yeah. So, yeah, the player comes in even in the NHL and says, look, I want $6 million a year. This is why I think I'm worth it. This is what I do, blah, blah, blah. And the team goes, we want to pay him 4 because... And it's a horrible process. They're like, these are his deficiencies. These are what he's not getting better at. This is what we worry about, and that's why we feel he's at this level. And then the arbitrator hears both sides and goes, I think a fair assessment is this, and this is how much. And then the team decides whether that's a 1-year or a 2-year deal if they accept it.
Okay, Stephen, I have an answer here. It says, an arbitrator in the NHL salary arbitration process is an independent third party, typically a professional labor arbitrator or lawyer with experience in contract law and collective bargaining. These individuals are not NHL employees. They are jointly approved by the NHL and the NHL Players Association. They are neutral and impartial, much like a judge, and are tasked with making a binding decision after hearing arguments from both the team and the player. There is a pool of arbitrators that the NHL and NHLPA has agreed upon. So there's a collective group, and they pick one out of it. They pick one out of the hat. So that's how that works.
Last thing, am I correct? The player does not need to attend. They can have their agent go alone and represent them, but they are entitled to go if they want.
I think that's correct. Yes.
I think, but you're highly recommended to go. And I mean, it's a brutal process because you're looking at each other in the eye and telling each other, well, you're telling your player that plays for you how bad he is at some things. Look, I heard this is a terrible process that teams want to avoid at all points.
My question is if you're an agent, would you want to put your player through, you should come and hear how badly they're going to talk about you. And if as a player, do you want to sit through that or say, look, you fight for me. I don't need to hear how lousy I am because it's just going to sour the relationship going forward.
Yeah.
No, but I'll also ask with the range process, does that not encourage the club to say, look, we got nothing to lose by lowballing because if we said you're worth 1 and he's probably worth 3 or 4, but you could get stuck with 6 because it's either or. You're going to have a little more fairness on both sides in terms of what you think it is. Whereas you got no hardship by lowballing because the range should be anywhere in there.
No.
And it just sort of seems to set up a process where the players are going to leave pretty sour even after the numbers are done.
Well, Stephen, by lowballing, that's what you risk. It's a 1 or 2 year deal in arbitration. And if you have like a 22, 24-year-old player, like if you lowball Dylan Samberg, what do you think he's going to do when this contract's done? Like he's gonna want out from the minute he has to sign this deal, right? So if Dylan Samberg's talking about $5 to $6 million, the Jets are not going to come in at $2 million.
Thanks, Stephen.
Because then Dylan Samberg's going to go, what? And I'm not re-signing here when I get the opportunity. So there is some responsibility to not lowball.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. Sorry I had to let you go there. We got to go to a break. And no, an NHL player does not need to personally attend their arbitration hearing. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
680 CJOB.
Hey, miss your chance. Get your thoughts on the show today. Call the Boston Pizza Jets at noon hotline. Open 24/7, 204-780-6800. Coming for lunch every weekday to Boston Pizza. Get a delicious main, side, and ice cold drink for only $15 only at BP. Here is our winning caller this week.
Jamie, what do you guys think? So Hellebuck's struggling to get over the hump. I got a wild and crazy idea. Apparently Fleury's going to be like an e-bug for Minnesota. But, I mean, what do you guys think about trying to get him as a backup?
What do you think about that? I mean, Eric Comrie's still signed for one more year at a very reasonable, like $850. Considering you're wondering where money is going to go. Eric Comrie was a great backup last year. I have no issues with the job that he did. So I don't think I would want to replace him, even if it is for somebody like Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yeah, I think they're fine with Comrie. If it's a playing and want more games, I think you give Comrie more games.
Yeah.
I like Marc-Andre Fleury, but I mean, Comrie's price and how he played last year, I think they're more than fine with that.
We got 2 more callers here. Let's squeeze them on. Let's get to Per. Hey, Per.
Hey.
What's up? We've got to be real quick here. What's on your mind?
I just want to say a couple of things about how the Jets season went for me this year. Usually I'm left with in the past few years, I was left frustrated and angry because of our playoff woes. But this year I felt a little different. It was tragic how we how we got put out with with Shifley in the box and stuff, and overtime on the day his father passed. But when it was all said and done, I felt like there's hope, and I believe in them now for the playoffs, whereas I didn't before. The St. Louis series, for example, like when they, when Perfetti scored with 2 seconds left to go, my hands went up in the air and a little scream of "yeah" came out. But when Lowry scored in the second overtime, I actually got up out of my aptly named lazy boy and started jigging. But I quickly realized after about 5 or 6 trips around the perimeter of my living room doing the river dance that my fitness level was a little suspect. So I had to plot myself back down. But I'm just saying, I believe in the Jets after so long of being frustrated by them in the playoffs. But,
I know.
Pear, I want you to call back when we have some more time with you, either next week or the week after, whenever you have some time, okay? Because I'd like to get into this a little bit more. Jim, do you have any comment? Because I just got to get to our last caller. But thanks so much, Pear. Appreciate it.
I feel the same way. Like, I think that you should take a look. I know it didn't go third, fourth round like everybody wanted and needed, but I think that what you saw would give you confidence that this team could. Hey,
Jessica, welcome to the show. What's going on? Thanks for calling.
Oh, hi there. I've been just fascinated by your NCAA CHL conversations.
I'm obsessed with it, Jessica. Like, I am so obsessed with this question. It's kind of taken over my life a little bit.
Well, me too. And we've been talking about it in my household for about 8 months because we have a kid in the thick of it right now who is coming into his 20-year-old hockey season in the WHL, who was fortunate enough to get himself a scholarship for when he's done. So I just wanted to say, like, as a parent and a kid of I'm going to call him just a normal, good hockey player, right? Yeah. Not the Gavin McKennas of the world, who's been grinding it out in this hockey league since he was 16 years old, who now has this opportunity to extend his runway and really have the best of both worlds, to both get an education when he's done and still pursue his dream, which is still his dream.
Jessica, we need to leave it here. Can you send me an email at cam@cjob.com? This got me thinking. Yes. Next week.
We'd love to have you on Monday and discuss this, Jessica.
Yeah. Let's get you on, maybe not Monday, but another day of the week. And let's talk. I want to start talking to parents about this because this is a monumental change. And maybe we'll spend some time next week and we'll do that. But thanks so much, Jessica. Can you send me an email? cam@cjob.com.
I'd love to talk about this.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica. Let's get a bunch of parents together and let's get like a round table or something and discuss this.
I would love that.
That's such a great idea.
I think even if it's 10 grand, like the average player can make 10 grand. I don't know how you don't do that.
Thanks so much. Free for All Friday. Thanks so much, everybody, for participating. Jim Todd, take all the way to 2 o'clock. Thank you very much, Jeffrey. For JCM.